You wake up in the land of Kush, south of Egypt, around 750 BC, and immediately realize two things. First, the sun doesn't rise here, it attacks. Second, everyone around you is deeply confident that you are chosen by the gods. Not symbolically, not maybe, chosen. No pressure. You are Nubian. From Napata, the religious capital of Kush, built beside the holy mountain Gebel Barkal. This mountain isn't just scenery. People believe that the god Amun, the same top-tier god Egyptians worship, literally lives here. Which means, culturally speaking, you're not some random southern king. You're backed by God's vacation home. For centuries, your people have traded with Egypt. Gold, ivory, war horses, elite soldiers. You've also been watching Egypt slowly fall apart, like a reality show that refuses to end. Different warlords claim the title of Pharaoh. Priests fight priests. Libyan dynasties rule parts of the country. Nobody agrees who's in charge. Egypt, the most famous civilization on Earth, is in shambles. And you're stable, organized, religious, rich, which historically means it's your turn. You grow up trained for command, archery, horsemanship, discipline, not palace luxury, military culture. Meanwhile, Egypt is on Pharaoh's number. Wait, who is this guy? Lower Egypt is fractured. Upper Egypt is broke. Local rulers act like kings. From your perspective, the gods are being ignored. That's unacceptable. So, around 747 BC, you decide Egypt needs spiritual intervention. Your name is Piet, also called Pianki, king of Kush, servant of Amun, and soon, Pharaoh of Egypt. You don't invade Egypt screaming, you invade Egypt disappointed. You march north with an army that is disciplined, well-supplied, deeply religious. Before every battle, you pray. After every victory, you lecture people for not worshiping correctly. You're not just conquering land, you're conquering behavior. Egyptian rulers panic. These aren't unified pharaohs. They're local kings holding pieces of Egypt. One of them, Tefnadakht of Sais, tries to form a coalition to stop you. It fails. Cities surrender. Temples open their gates. Because no one wants to fight the guy who thinks God personally sent him. You reach Memphis, Egypt's political and religious heart, and you take it. But instead of looting, you stop. You cleanse yourself, perform rituals, purify your soul. Then you scold Egyptian nobles for disrespecting the gods. This moment is so important, you carve it into stone. It becomes the Victory Stela, a massive inscription where you explain, yes, you conquered Egypt, but more importantly, you're disappointed in everyone. By 728 BC, you are officially Pharaoh of Egypt. Not a puppet, not a symbol. Full titles, full crowns, full divine authority. Egypt hasn't been ruled by a Black African dynasty in centuries, and nobody knows how to feel about it. But you don't erase Egypt, you restore it. You rebuild temples, revive ancient traditions, bring back old kingdom standards Egyptians themselves abandoned. Egypt may not love you, but it respects you. Eventually, you return south to Kush. Ruling Egypt is exhausting. Everyone complains. You die peacefully in 716 BC, which is basically unheard of. Your brother Shabaka takes over. then Shebitku. Together, they formalize what history calls the 25th dynasty, the era of the Black Pharaohs. Then comes the most famous of them all, Taharqa. Taharqa becomes pharaoh around 690 BC. He's a builder, a reformer, a legit ruler. Unfortunately, he inherits the worst possible problem: the Assyrian Empire. These people are not spiritual. They are not impressed by temples. They invent new siege weapons for fun. They are the strongest military power on earth, and they want Egypt. In 701 BC, Assyrian king Sennacherib begins conquering everything in sight. Levant, gone. Judah, crushed. Egypt is next. Taharqa prepares defenses, forms alliances, sends armies north. Amazingly, he slows the Assyrians down. For a moment, Egypt survives. Taharqa becomes a legend. The Assyrians take note. In 671, Esarhaddon, Sennacherib's son, invades Egypt directly. This time, it works. Memphis falls, Taharqa retreats south. The Assyrians install puppet rulers and declare victory. Egypt immediately revolts, because Egypt always revolts. Taharqa returns, reclaims territory, restores temples again. The people love him, the Assyrians are furious. In 667 BC, Ashurbanipal, the most brutal Assyrian king of all, invades with overwhelming force. No comeback this time. Taharqa retreats permanently to Nubia and dies shortly after. Egypt slips out of Nubian control, but not without one last attempt. Tanwatamani marches north in 664 BC, not as a dreamer, not as a hopeful heir, as a man who knows this is the last chance. Memphis falls to him first. The Assyrian puppets run. Egypt breathes again. For a moment, it feels possible. Temples reopen. Priests chant louder. Soldiers stand taller. Work spreads south along the Nile. Kush has returned, but empires do not forget, and the Assyrians do not forgive. Ashurbanipal hears the news. He does not rage, he calculates. Then he sends everything. Infantry in tight formation. Archers in ranks so deep they look like moving walls. Engineers dragging siege engines across the earth like monsters made of wood and iron. They move south with one goal: end this. Not weaken it, not scare it, end it. The clash comes near Thebes. Dust rises before the armies even see each other. The ground shakes. Drums pound. War horns scream. Men shout prayers into dry air that swallows sound. Tanwatamani stands at the front. Not behind walls, not hidden, at the front. He's seen this before. He knows how this ends for most men, but he also knows what it means to hesitate, and he does not. Arrows fall first. The sky darkens. Shields lift. Men scream. Horses rear. The first wave hits like a sandstorm made of steel. Kushite archers answer. Spears crash into shields. Lines bend, then break, then collide. This is not ceremony anymore. This is survival. The Assyrians push forward in formation. Disciplined, relentless, step by step. They fight like a machine that learned how to bleed. Tanwatamani's guard closes around him, but battles don't respect circles. They collapse inward. Suddenly, there is no front line. Just men, breathing hard, swinging wildly, trying not to die. Tanwatamani's chariot splinters under impact. A spear pierces the wheel. Wood cracks. He hits the ground hard. Dust fills his mouth. An Assyrian soldier lunges. Tanwatamani rolls, grabs a fallen shield, deflects the blade. The shield splits. He loses his sword in the scramble. Now it's hands, elbows, knees. Close enough to smell fear, close enough to see doubt. They crash into a courtyard beside a temple, columns towering overhead, sacred carvings watching silently. An overturned wooden throne chair lies near the entrance, heavy, ceremonial, carved for priests, not built for battle. Tanwatamani grabs it anyway, because when survival's the goal, everything becomes a weapon. He grips the legs of the chair with both hands. The Assyrian charges. Tanwatamani swings. The chair smashes into bronze armor with a crack that echoes off stone. Wood splinters. The soldier stumbles but doesn't fall. They collide, hands gripping the chair from opposite sides now, pushing, straining, faces inches apart, breath hot, teeth clenched. No speeches, no destiny. Just muscle against muscle. The chair twists between them. One leg snaps. Tanwatamani rips it free and drives the jagged wood forward. The soldier drops, but two more step in. Because empires do not send one man, they send waves. Around them, Thebes is burning. Smoke coils into the sky. Temples that stood for centuries tremble under siege hammers. Statues crack, doors burst inward. The sound is not just battle, it's erasure. Tanwatamani swings what's left of the chair again. Another splinter, another strike, but numbers close in. A blow to the shoulder. A shield slams into his ribs. He staggers, not from fear, from weight, from inevitability. His guard drags him back, fighting step by step, shield by shield. Through smoke and screaming, out of the courtyard, out of the city. Behind him, Thebes falls. Not symbolically, literally. Looted, burned, broken open. Ashurbanipal does not rebuild what he conquers. He leaves warnings. Tanwatamani retreats south. Not defeated in spirit, but defeated in fact. There is a difference, and history remembers both. The Nubian rule of Egypt ends here. Not quietly, not gently, but fighting. Chair splintered in hand, temple walls cracking behind them. Refusing to kneel, even while forced to leave. Later, Egypt will invade Nubia. Napata will burn. They will try to close the chapter. They will say it was brief. They will say it was minor. They will say it was temporary. But they cannot say it was weak. You ruled. You resisted. You fought empires in palace halls with whatever was left in your hands. Even a chair. And for nearly a century, the Nile did not flow under fear, it flowed under Kush. And for a moment, even the strongest empire on earth had to wrestle you for it.